You are looking at the bomb that will one day end the world. Welcome back, Charlie here. Today you're going to find out the most powerful bombs on the planet, many of which are hiding underground in your country right now, ready to be used at any time. We'll also see real exclusive video of what happens when these bombs are detonated. First, we have to look at Satan II. In April 2022, Russia tested the RS-28 Sarmat for the first time. The bomb is better known as Satan II. The bomb was first announced in 2019. Putin announced it, calling it the most powerful nuke in Russia's arsenal. It's incredibly stealthy, it's pretty much undetectable, and can get around any defense system. The bomb is 3,000 times more powerful than Little Boy. Little Boy being the bomb that wiped out Hiroshima. The Satan II could wipe out an area the size of England and Wales. It has a very short launch burn phase, meaning it's very hard for missile detecting satellites to track. Its speed then means it pretty much disappears from satellite view. Instead of taking the shortcut over the North Pole, it goes over the South Pole. This means it's invisible to US tracking satellites. Let's hope the Satan II is not used anytime soon. Next, we have to look at the largest bomb ever made. That is the Tsar Bomba. It's the most powerful bomb in the world today. This was developed and detonated by the Soviet Union in 1961. The detonation made the largest man-made explosion in history. The bomb is the equivalent of 50 megatons of TNT. The bomb is 8 meters long with a diameter of 2.6 meters. It also weighs more than 27 tons. When the Sar Bomber was tested, the aftermath was devastating. Buildings 34 miles away were destroyed. 100 miles away, wooden houses were destroyed. And some brick houses even collapsed. It also disturbed many radio communications. People even felt the thermal effects over 170 miles away. If you were standing 62 miles away, you would experience third-degree burns. Over 600 miles away, windows shattered. This even happened to buildings in Finland and Norway. This is because of the massive shockwave the Tsar Bomba created. The seismic magnitude was 5 on the Richter scale, despite the detonation happening 13,000 feet above the ground. The Tsar Bomba was so powerful it almost destroyed the plane that dropped it. You can see a view from this plane's window here. Just imagine flying that plane and being so close to death. The Soviet Union even considered creating a bigger bomb named the Tsar II. This would have been twice as big as the Tsar Bomba. This bomb would have been 100 megatons of TNT. The explosion would be 6,666 times bigger than Hiroshima. To put this into perspective, let's imagine New York is ground zero. This is how big the blast of the Hiroshima bomb was. This is how big the blast of the Tsar Bomba was. And this is how big the blast of the Tsar Bomba 2 would be. Moving on, let's look at the B-41. The B-41 was a thermonuclear weapon developed by the USA in the 1960s. At the time, it was the most powerful nuke the USA had ever made. It weighed a massive 10,000 pounds. Two versions of this bomb were created, a clean version and a dirty version. The dirty version was encased in uranium. This would create maximum damage when detonated. These would be airdropped from planes using parachutes. Its blast yield was around 50% of the Sar Bomber. Now let's look at the MK17. The MK17 was the USA's first thermonuclear hydrogen bomb. It was a massive 25 megatons of TNT. Between 1954 and 1955, over 200 of these were made. It was the first bomb ever made with lithium deuteride. It weighed a colossal 42,000 pounds. It was dropped with a gigantic parachute designed to slow the bomb down. This would give the aircraft that dropped it enough time to fly away before the massive explosion. In 1957, an MK17 was accidentally dropped from a B-36 plane. The plane's bomber doors accidentally opened and the bomb fell out. This happened just south of Albuquerque, New Mexico. It exploded on impact, making a massive crater in the desert. The crater was 12 feet deep and 25 feet in diameter. The explosion also spread radioactive contamination all over Albuquerque. The military secretly cleaned up the site, but to this day some radioactive fragments of the bomb can still be found in the area. Next, we have to look at the mother of all bombs, better known as the MOAB. It gets its name from its gigantic size. The MOAB was developed in 2002 and was almost used by the US military in Iraq. But the MOAB would take way too many civilian lives, so it was never used. Only 15 of these have ever been made. They weigh around 22,600 pounds and are 30 feet in length. It has an explosive yield of 11 tons of TNT. On the 13th of April 2017, the MOAB was used for the first time. This was to take out an IS base in Afghanistan. People nearby said it felt like the heavens were falling. The MOAB's bomb radius alone is 1 mile. Russia also has their own version of the MOAB called the FOAB, an abbreviation of the father of all bombs, and it's said to be 4 times as powerful as the MOAB. Finally, we have to look at the biggest bomb ever dropped by the USA. In 1954, the US carried out its largest ever nuclear weapon test named Castle Bravo. This took place in the Marshall Islands. Because of a design error, the bomb had a yield of 15 megatons. This made it 2.5 times larger than expected. Radioactive fallout went all over the islands, affecting the US mainland, India, Australia, and Japan. The people living on these islands had been forcibly removed because of these tests. But because the blast was too big, it destroyed their homes forever. Many Japanese fishermen who were working in nearby waters also passed away. Castle Bravo was America's first ever weaponized hydrogen bomb. The mushroom cloud from this bomb reached a height of 130,000 feet and left a 6,500 feet diameter crater on the ocean floor. But now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Comment below, do you think we'll ever see nuclear war? If you want to see my short videos, then check out my second channel. I've been Charlie, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.